This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
Welcome to Make Some Noise podcast, your guide for strategies, tools, and insight to empower yourself. I'm your host, Andrea Owen, global speaker, entrepreneur, life coach since 2007, and author of 3 books that have been translated into 18 languages and are available in 22 countries. Each week, I'll bring you a guest or a lesson that will help you maximize unshakable confidence, master resilience, and make some noise in your life. You ready? Let's go. You're listening to Make Some Noise podcast, episode number 711. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the podcast. I am so glad that you are here. Happy New Year, right? It is the beginning of 2026 if you are listening to this in real time. And I am currently packing to get ready to go to Costa Rica. Again, I was there 6 months ago at Rhythmia Life Advancement Center, and I am going back with Dr. Fox this time. And as I was getting ready and I was thinking about, okay, what podcast episode do I want to have come out? Solo podcast episode. And I immediately thought of something that was an exercise that we were taken through when I was in coach training back in 2008. And it was a visualization, which I have a hard time with visualizations sometimes, but this one really was incredibly helpful. It's called the Future Self Visualization. Some of you, if you've been in an older program of mine, you might have heard it, or you may have heard it in your travels somewhere, but it is a visualization that helps you kind of not see into the future. It's not a psychic premonition or anything like that, but it's just a way for you to think about and drop into your intuition, hopefully, to be able to maybe get some messages, maybe get some insight, some awareness. And also, fun fact, because the first time I did this visualization, it was 2008. So my future self is almost here. The future self that I visualized almost 20 years ago is almost here. So that's another reason I'm excited for you to get to experience this visualization. So real quick, a couple of things. There's a worksheet that goes with this because during the visualization and at the end, I ask several questions. So you can download that for free. AndreaOwen.com/711, or in the show notes, you can click on that link to download it. The other thing I want to mention, and I'm not going to say it's embarrassing, but it is a little bit embarrassing. This is a very old recording that I did several years ago for coaching clients, and not just several years ago, many years ago, more than 10 years ago. Okay. So I listened to it back to see if there was anything I needed to edit out or change. And I could not help but think to myself, Andrea, to me, it's sweet. I have a bit of a podcasting voice on, and it's a little bit different than the voice that you hear presently now in 2026. It's just, I've evolved and just gotten better as a speaker. So please forgive the elementary way that I am speaking. So my hope is that you can get to a place where you're not driving or anything like that, where you can actually sit down, take a moment, 20 minutes, and do this visualization and the worksheet that goes with it. The last thing is that I am going to be facilitating Write Your Way Through It. Again, it is my signature journaling class, and we start on Wednesday, January 21st, and I would love for you to join us. It's the most affordable way to work with me, and I may only offer it one time this year, so I would definitely get on it. That's at AndreaOwen.com/program. Of course, link is in the show notes. Last thing, I am going to try to not have any ads put in during the visualization because I know how distracting that could be. Therefore, let's take a quick break from our sponsors who help support this show.
This podcast is supported by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife, feeling dismissed, unheard, or just plain tired of the old healthcare system? You're not alone. In fact, even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause issues are left entirely untreated. But it's time for a change. It's time for MIDI. MIDI's not just a healthcare provider. It's a women's telehealth clinic founded and supported by world-class leaders in women's health. Their clinicians provide one-on-one, face-to-face consultations where they truly listen to your unique needs. They offer a full range of holistic, data-driven solutions that isn't one-size-fits-all care. This is care uniquely tailored for you. At MIDI, you will find that their mission is clear: to help all women thrive in midlife, giving them access to the healthcare they deserve. Because they believe midlife isn't the middle at all. It is the beginning of your second act. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today to book your personalized, insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
This show is sponsored by MIDI Health. Are you in midlife and feeling dismissed, unheard, or just completely fed up with the old healthcare system? You're not imagining it, and you're definitely not alone. For far too long, women's midlife health concerns have been brushed off, minimized, or met with some version of, this is just part of getting older, deal with it. And honestly, that kind of dismissal is exhausting. It can make you feel invisible or ashamed, or even like your body is suddenly a problem that no one wants to take seriously. Here's a wild stat. Even today, 75% of women seeking care for menopause and perimenopause are left entirely untreated. But here's the good news. Things are changing. Enter MIDI. MIDI is a women's telehealth clinic founded and backed by world-class leaders in women's health, and they're doing things differently. They're the only women's telehealth brand covered by major insurance, making expert care accessible and affordable. You get one-on-one, face-to-face visits with clinicians who actually listen, plus personalized care from hormone support to weight management, lifestyle coaching, and preventative health. This isn't cookie-cutter care. This is care built around you. Ready to feel your best and write your second act script? Visit joinmidi.com today and book your personalized insurance-covered virtual visit. That's joinmidi.com. MIDI, the care women deserve.
AI had the time of my life. I never felt this way before.
From building timelines to assigning the right people and even spotting risks across dozens of projects, Monday Sidekick knows your business, thinks ahead, and takes action. One click on the star and consider it done.
And I owe it all to you.
Try Monday Sidekick, AI you'll love to use on monday.com.
All right, we're back. So without further ado, here is your future self visualization. Hello there. What you are about to hear is a visualization. More specifically, we call this the future self visualization. And the way that it will work is like this. I will read the visualization, and then you will hear some music for about, about 20 seconds. And then you will hear me talking again, where I'm going to kind of debrief the visualization as well as go through the questions that are on your worksheet. Obviously, I invite you to practice this visualization / meditation in a quiet, private place, not while driving or at a coffee shop or anything like that. Please take the time to go somewhere where you are comfortable. You can sit down, or if you want to lie down, that's perfectly fine too, just so that you're at someplace private where you can really relax and get into this visualization. So without further ado, here we go. Get into a comfortable position. Now allow your eyes to close and begin by focusing your awareness on your breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in easily and effortlessly, then breathing out. Each breath allows you to become more relaxed and comfortable. Let any outside sounds only serve to allow you to go deeper inside. A reminder of how good it is to leave the noise and stress of the outside world and journey into the quiet and peace of your own inner world. As you sink deeper down into quiet and ease, perhaps you can imagine a grounding cord dropping down from the back of your spine. Imagine it is going down to the center of the earth, deep into the earth. Imagine there is something that you can anchor the cord to, so that no matter where you go on your inner journey, you feel solidly connected to the earth. As you allow yourself to go deeper into a state of relaxation, remember a time when you stood before a pond or a lake and it was quiet and peaceful. You may have dropped a pebble into the center and noticed the ripples rippling out. One ripple after another, flowing outward farther and farther. The ripples slowing down, becoming farther apart until the water was once again calm and peaceful. I'm going to invite you now to imagine that your body is like that body of water. As you drop a pebble into the center of your body, you can feel ripples of relaxation rippling out. Waves of relaxation flowing through your body. Up through your torso, into your chest and your back. Up through the vertebrae and spreading out into each and every muscle of your back. Through your shoulders and arms. Up through your neck, your jaw, face, and scalp. Feeling those ripples relax you as your muscles let go and become soft and loose. Feeling the ripples of relaxation flowing down the bottom of your torso, flowing through your abdomen and your pelvis, down through your thighs, calves, ankles, and toes. Know that each time you drop a pebble into the center of your body, you can become more relaxed. As you become more relaxed, you find yourself becoming more quiet and peaceful. Now bring your attention to the spot between your eyes, the third eye. Imagine a light there. What color is the light between your eyes? Now imagine that light becoming a beam that extends out into space. Follow that beam as it leaves the building that you're in, as it travels around the city, and as it continues out so that you can make out the entire area. As it moves further up, then you can make out the coastline. Keep on going further and further out into space and notice the curvature of the earth. As you keep going further and further out, find yourself enveloped by the softness and quiet of space. Notice below you the big blue-green ball with the white clouds wisping around it. Allow yourself to enjoy this perspective for a moment. Now notice another beam of light very near to you, a different color from the one that you followed into outer space. Begin to follow that beam back down to Earth. This beam is taking you back to Earth 20 years from now, 20 years into the future. Keep following this beam down, noticing the curvature of the Earth and the geography stretched out below you. As you come closer to the end of the beam, keep noticing where you are. This is where your most positive future self lives. You, 20 years from now. Come into contact with Earth and notice where you are. Notice what dwelling or nature surrounds you. Now move to the dwelling of your future self. What does it look like? What kind of landscape does it have? Are there trees, flowers? What kind? Get a sense of this place. Do what you need to do to get someone to come to the door. Know that on the other side of the door is your future self, waiting to greet you. Yourself 20 years from now. As the door opens, what do you notice? Greet your future self and notice the way she returns your greeting. Welcome you into this time and place 20 years in the future. Take in this person, your future self. Now move with her to a comfortable place for a conversation. Perhaps your future self offers you something to drink. Really settle in and make yourself comfortable for a conversation with your future self. There are some questions that you might want to ask her. Begin by asking the following 2 questions. First, what is it, future self, that you most remember about the last 20 years? In the last 20 years, what stands out most in your memory? Take a moment now to hear the answer. Now ask your future self the following question. What do I need to be most aware of to get me from where I am now to where you are? What would be most helpful for me to know to get to where you are? Listen to what your future self has to tell you. Now take a moment to ask your future self your own questions. What are other questions that you would like to ask her? And now ask your future self one final question before you go. What name, other than your first name, are you called by? A special name. It would be a metaphor or a symbol of your essence. What is this name? Bring this visit with your future self to a close. Thank her for being here with you today and sharing her wisdom. Now find your way back to the beam of light and journey back up the beam, watching this world 20 years into the future grow ever smaller as you move out into space. Seeing again the ball of blue-green below you, clouds swirling around it. Notice that your beam of light is intersected with a different beam of light that will take you back home. Follow this beam of light back to present time Earth. As you travel down this beam, notice the Earth growing bigger and bigger. Notice the geography of your city, moving further down the beam. And finally, coming back to your room. In a few moments, I'm going to count from 3 to 1. At the count of 1, you will be refreshed and alert, as if you had had the perfect amount of rest, knowing you can remember everything you wish of this inner journey. When you open your eyes, please remain silent and jot down things you want to remember about your journey. 3, coming back to present time, becoming more alert and refreshed. 2, stretching your body, feeling the ground beneath you. And 1, eyes open, refreshed, and alert. hopefully at this point, you've had some time to reflect on the inner journey that you just went on. If you haven't, then I encourage you to pause this audio and think about what you saw, answer those questions as best you can that you heard towards the end of the visualization. Right now, we're going to sort of debrief the experience, but before we do that, I wanted to say a couple of things, what might have come up for some of you that have done this exercise. Some people, when they do this, they have a sense of sadness or fear with the future self inner journey. They might think, my partner wasn't there. Did we get divorced? Or I couldn't see my future self at all. Does that mean that I'm dead in 20 years? And whatever the experience that you had during the visualization is fine. This is not a psychic prediction about your life. It is not a literal synopsis of what's going to happen. This is an energy resource for you to start to learn to tap into. It also can help some people call you forward into your life. But if the future self visualization is not a powerful resource for you, I encourage you to use your imagination to create the future self that inspires you and pulls you forward. So I would encourage you to maybe take some time journaling and just create a vision. What do you want for yourself in 20 years? What do you want to look back on the last 20 years and be proud of? The growth that you made, the things that you did, the things that you accomplished, et cetera, et cetera. How can you make this work for you? So hopefully you've also already thought about what does your future self want you to know, and answered the questions that were actually in the visualization. But if you are ready to take it a step further, here are some extra questions for you to think about, as well as some fun exercises for you to do if this really resonated with you. So my first question is, what was the name that you got? And obviously you can't answer back, and I can't hear you, but that is, I think, one of the fun parts of this exercise. And if you did come up with a name or a symbol or a metaphor, can you write that down somewhere, maybe on a Post-it or in lipstick on your mirror or whatever, to remind you of this exercise and to help you embody this exercise? Another thing that might be fun for you to do is to spend some time every day, if you feel like it, or once a week, having coffee with your future self. Some of my clients like to meditate on it, and in their meditations, close their eyes and tap into that resource and keep asking the questions of, what is it that I need to know from you? And circling this back to the inner critic and how this can be so helpful is during those times that you feel like your inner critic is speaking up, or even if it's things like you have fear around something and so you keep maybe trying to tap into what your intuition is saying, but you just keep coming back to, I don't know what to do, I don't know what's next for me, feeling so stuck, et cetera, which is typically fear-based. Try to use this exercise and tap into the future self and ask yourself, what does your future self have to say about it? Or imagine talking to your future self about it. What would you like to hear her saying to you? Another question that I love to ask people when we have done this exercise together is, especially for people who feel disconnected from their lives, and the question is, how far away are you from your future self? If you want to put that in mileage, if you want to just say, on a scale of 1 to 10, I feel, 10 being the farthest, I feel like I'm an 8 away from my future self. Then the question becomes, what is the bridge between you? What is the bridge between where you are now and where your future self is? So in other words, what are the things that need to happen along that bridge? Is it taking more risks? Is it setting better boundaries? Reaching out to people for help and support when you need it? This one might be really meaty for some of you, and take some time to think about what is on that bridge. And maybe an exciting question, I'm going to wrap it up with this one, is this is maybe more for people who see that they are moving toward their future self. And the question is, what parts of you now are part of your future self? And just to celebrate that. All right, that's it. Thank you so much for joining me on that old relic of a visualization. I really hope you enjoyed it and then you got something out of it. Remember, registration is open for Write Your Way Through It. We start on the 21st of January, AndreaOwen.com/program. And remember, it's our life's journey to make ourselves better humans and our life's responsibility to make the world a better place. Bye for now. Hey everyone, thanks again for listening. I would be so incredibly grateful if you haven't done so already, if you could leave a review of this podcast on Apple Podcasts. Super easy if you already listen to your shows over there. But if you don't, or maybe you have the app on your phone, but you listen to the show on a different app, if you could leave a review for this show, it matters so much. I wish I could express how much it matters. I also wish that it didn't matter so much, but alas, it does. So if you haven't already, please go review and rate the show. It would mean so much to me. And thank you so much. I hope you have an amazing day.